Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Squared Circle Society here on behalf of Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, and we are here to talk about wrestling.
Yes!
Yes!
As you may or may not know, today it's a very, very big week for us here at the Square Circle Society because it's WrestleMania weekend.
It's the granddaddy of them all.
That's right. It's the show of shows.
It's our Super Bowl.
The showcase of the immortals. Yes. It's okay that we are excited about that. First of all, a little bit about who we are. We are Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, and we put on many, many shows here along the lines of Journey Quest, The Gamers. We have a show here called Masters of the Metaverse. We do Death from Above. This channel is full of goodness, and we want to spread that goodness even further by talking to you about more nerdy things that we love. And this week, that thing happens to be wrestling. So why are we calling ourselves a society? I think that's an important question.
Fair.
And here's what it is to me. Wrestling fans, in general, get kind of grouped into a particular niche. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we particularly fit that.
Yeah.
I have long been a wrestling fan that often likes to distance himself from other wrestling fans. Much in the same way that when we were younger, role-playing games were not quite as hip and cool as we thought they were. And so,
as we knew they were.
And so we had little secret codes to see if other people were into the same things we are. It's a lot like being gay, I imagine, in any time before now. It was something you hid from the world, but we're done hiding, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Here's the thing. We like it when people, work out a lot and then get in their underwear and fake hit each other for hours on end, telling stories of good and evil. That's really all we are. We just love drama.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they consistently create drama, both good and bad.
Both of which are amazing.
Yeah, the thing is they get reactions out of us. Even when the drama's bad, they get reactions out of us, whether that be on Twitter, whether that be us just shouting to the one other wrestling fan that we know.
Yeah.
But, we're not going to do that anymore. Like I said, we've got somebody to talk. I've got people to talk to now. I've got my lovely wife. My name is Christian Doyle, by the way. This is Maggie Doyle, and this is Luke Amundson joining us today. We have other members in our little society that could not make it today. Obviously, Marcus and Keeson, we miss you terribly. But WrestleMania is this weekend, and I understand that you might be busy trying to get things done before the showcase of the Immortals starts.
Before we go any further, though, we are accepting there's an interruption in the store.
Oh yeah, we do have an interrupt to ask a question ability in the store.
There's a very good chance that we'll get very heated and not be looking at chat that is up for us. And so if you really want to ask a question or interrupt us,
we will absolutely accept your questions from chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to explain why we love this as much as we do, because it's a lot more than just half-dressed people oiling themselves up and fake fighting, which really would be enough for me to enjoy it automatically.
Absolutely. Also, people with impossibly wet hair.
Yeah,
all the time.
So good. Except for the ones who during the match, like Dolph Ziggler, where it starts to just poof out like mine does. That's how you know if you turn it on randomly, you're like, oh, we're near the end of the match.
Oh, well, this has been going a while.
Now,
they've punched each other so hard, their hair is dry. Good Lord. What did I miss?
Knocked the wet right out of his hair. It's a slobber knocker.
I love it.
So during the show, we are going to be using some wrestling terminology. If you are not a wrestling fan, don't be afraid to ask a question. What the heck does that mean? Yeah. We're happy to educate because we want more people to enjoy this sport the way we do.
This uniquely American institution.
There we go.
I legitimately believe that this is the most fundamental, outside of music or literary, but the most fundamental performing art that America has created.
I agree.
So much so that other countries have built upon it and perfected it to a level that we
we are really envious of.
Yeah,
but that's a topic for later.
Yeah, honestly,
this is Mania.
Right, Mania. We talk about the U.S. We talk about the WWE, the big boys in the wrestling world. Now there are a lot of other groups out there doing great shows and doing great work all over the world, up to and including WWE's. What do they call it? Their lesser brand, their developmental brand NXT, which as WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment, NXT stands for Next. They have no need for vowels. That's how hardcore they are. They also put on a great show, which has its biggest event happening this weekend also.
Yes.
We're not covering that because WrestleMania.
Yep.
Booyah.
Yeah, also, last year I watched TakeOver before I watched WrestleMania, which just made WrestleMania disappointing.
Yeah.
The caliber of the actual wrestling and storytelling happening inside the ring on NXT is
But that's because Triple H is in charge.
pretty unmatched. And you know, we can speculate on why it is the way it is, and I am not disinclined to agree with you. Yeah, he probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
We'll be getting into more of some of his handiwork a little later in our show. But first, we're going to go over what the actual WrestleMania card is. Who's wrestling and why? This is important to WrestleMania.
Yes.
So, WrestleMania has what we call a stacked card this year, meaning that there are just a metric ass ton of matches.
Yeah.
More matches than they should feasibly be able to put on in one show. It's supposed to
Arguably too many matches.
Yes.
This is supposed to be the longest pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're looking at an 8-hour runtime for WrestleMania this year live.
And we are going to watch all
Every
8 hours.
single minute, whether we want to or not.
Yep.
So we're going to go over who is fighting, again, and why. All right? So why are we the authorities on this right now? What gives us the right to talk about wrestling? Simply put, we like it. And we are not afraid to admit it out loud in front of people.
Die-hard fans.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about who we love and who we hate and why.
And according to the internet, being a die-hard fan makes you an expert.
That is...
If there's one thing Twitter's taught me,
Yep.
that's not it, actually. It's probably, maybe delete that and think about it before you... Yeah.
All right, so let's start at the top of the card and work our way down, just to tell you what matches there are, and then we're going to break each match down individually, working our way from the bottom up, and discuss who we think is going to win, lose, walk away with belts, or tears, or blood, or a combination of all of those things.
If it all goes right.
Oh man, this is so exciting.
Very excited.
All right, so... Starting at the top of the card, the match that everybody is talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
Is the historical match of this WrestleMania, this 35th WrestleMania, is, of course, Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet, versus the Queen, Charlotte Flair, versus the man, Becky Lynch.
Oh, he's getting naked.
I'm not going to tell you who I'm rooting for, but it might be a little bit obvious. This is the most talked about. This is the most crazy build up to a match we have seen for WrestleMania in years, and we couldn't be more confused or excited by it than we are. It is a winner-take-all match with two of the participants currently holding both of the brand's top two women's titles, one for SmackDown, one for Raw. Whoever wins this match is winner take all, which we can only assume means that they get both the belts and a lot of bragging rights, at least until they have to drop the belt next month to somebody.
I'm going to save my questions for when we actually talk about it.
Yeah.
The next big, co-main event, they have to call it, is Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Brock Lesnar is a fan favorite and can put on a hell of a match when he wants to because he is the beast.
When he wants to, being the key phrase there.
The problem is he doesn't show up very much, and
he hasn't shown up in 16 years.
He doesn't.
Not quite that long.
He doesn't wrestle on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
No.
He only comes in for pay-per-views and only to defend that belt that has become oh so meaningless since its inception just a few years ago when Finn Balor won it for the first time and kept it for less than 24 hours. Hopefully this is going to be what we all want it to be. We're not going to keep our hopes up.
Nope.
The next big match, and the one that that a lot of us might be looking forward to even more than the ladies, is going to be Kofi Kingston of the New Day versus the new Daniel Bryan.
Guys,
he's known throughout Aberdeen for his small package.
We are going to get
he's the background of my phone right now.
We are going to get into this at length in a few minutes. Next up, we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton in in what I did not expect to be a match I wanted to see. I thought it was going to be a filler match. Now I kind of want to watch it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because the story built up was actually not too bad. I did not hate it at all. All right. Next after that, Roman Reigns, the returning big dog, versus the Scottish psychopath, Drew.
No, this is what he does. I'm not being obscene.
Drew McIntyre.
You have to cock your Superman
He cocks his
punch.
wrist before he punches.
And we'll get into
God, that's amazing.
we've already got people yelling about how the old school wrestlers were better. No, nobody wrestled like Cowboy Bob. Go back and watch a Cowboy Bob Orton match and tell me it stacks up to Mustafa Ali, and then we can have a nice.
Boy, I tell you, that Ricochet doesn't do anything for me. Now, Jake the Snake's 4-move set.
5.
I'm including the short arm clothesline and the DDT as 1. That's a setup and finish. It's all part of the package.
Fair enough.
Still excellent ring psychology. I love you, Jake.
Me too, buddy. I'm glad you're doing well. All right, next we have another one that I thought I was not looking forward to, but am in fact looking forward to, and that is Dave Batista versus Triple H. And Triple H's career is going to be on the line, which will immediately tell you which way my prediction is going to go, judging how that has gone for him in the past.
Yeah.
After that, we have Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor, and we're going to talk a little bit about that match and why our predictions are the way they are. After that, I know, it's like these matches just keep going and going and going, and it's because they do.
8 hours, guys.
Yeah, and also that's one of those matches where anybody, whether they know wrestling or not, can hear the names of the people who are participating in it and decide to watch the show based on, I know who Triple H is because I was alive 20 years ago, and I know who Batista is
because I like excellent movies.
Right.
If you haven't seen it yet, Bushwick. My word, it is spectacular. It is 90 minutes. Pure adrenaline cover to cover.
I love 90 minutes. That's a great time.
It is.
For a movie. I'm getting a question from Hippo asks, how long do wrestling matches typically even last?
Oh, that's hard to answer.
It depends on where they land on the card. The earlier matches, the lower card matches generally just go a few minutes. The upper card matches tend to go a little bit longer, but sometimes those grudge matches, they put in some work. You know, Iron Man matches are always timed.
Yep.
I've always liked the way New Japan does it. All of their matches are timed.
Yeah.
So they don't last beyond a certain length, but they always go right to the limit.
Yeah.
And you get guys wrestling for 74 minutes and not dying somehow.
Also, Hippo, it'll depend on the storyline too. Like a year ago, 2 years ago, the Goldberg.
Yeah.
He did one spear and pinned the guy. It was like a 30-second match, but that was part of the story. Like, oh my God, it was only 30 seconds. Ah! Of course, their actual real match lasted much longer. But you can have very quick ones or very long ones.
But not really.
Next up,
that was a big part of that whole storyline.
Next up, we have the the United States Championship match with the
very much in flux.
Yep, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, who you probably know who that is too, because again, he was wrestling 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Shout out Chula Vista.
Yeah, and looks about as good as he does now. The guy does not age.
Yeah.
Of course, he does shave his head also. Next up, we've got the Women's Tag Team Champion, the first WrestleMania that the Women's Tag Team titles will be defended ever, because again, those championships didn't exist last year, but because women's wrestling is on top of the world right now, we get an extra championship for them. That is going to be versus Sasha Banks and Bayley, the Boss and Hug connection, defending their titles versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Nia Jax and Tamina, and the Iconics, Maggie's favorite. Next up, we have The Miz versus Shane O'Mac, Mr. Shane McMahon himself, in a match that I thought I would see last year, but not in the same way that I'm going to be seeing it.
That's true.
That's a very good point, yeah.
We have the retirement match for Kurt Angle. Well, he will be facing the reviled Baron Corbin. The heel that everybody hates for real.
Yeah. He's got real legitimate hate, what is often referred to as X-Pac heat.
I think he's just a douchebag.
Heat.
Yeah, he's just a douchebag. And like, I feel like he is in real life, though. I don't know. I have no proof. It's just a feeling. I guess.
He's probably a great guy, guys.
Yeah, true. But he's very good at his job.
Win or lose, this is Kurt Angle's last match with the WWE. He is retiring from in-ring work, which doesn't mean we're not going to be seeing him anymore. It just means he's going to be wearing that little cowboy hat more often. Next, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus The Bar versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet and Aleister Black. More excited about this match than I thought I would be, too.
Me too.
Also, getting into the pre-show now, we've got Buddy Murphy defending his cruiserweight title against the Mr. Tony Abs, Tony Nese himself.
Yeah.
Followed by the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yes.
The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is something they instated a few years ago and has become a mainstay of WrestleMania. But it's basically just
let's give everyone a paycheck.
Let's put all the jobbers who have worked hard all year into a match together so they can be on WrestleMania and get their nice WrestleMania paycheck. Yep. I'm glad the match is happening. I'm also glad the match is happening on the pre-show.
Absolutely.
That being said, immediately following or immediately before is going to be the Women's Battle Royal.
Much more interesting.
Which is much more interesting, mostly because it has a lot less participants, which is something we will get into.
We've got a question. Please define jobber. So if you're a jobber in the so you're not the ones who's got the main events doing the wrestling or
you're not even in the middle. Your job as a jobber, you can be either enhancement talent or you can be a lower card wrestler who just is on a losing streak. But what it means is if you're a jobber, that means you do the job for another wrestler. That means that your job is to make them look good and to lose to them.
A lot.
Sure, but a lot of guys have made great careers out of jobbing to other guys, and they have been great performers in their own right.
And there's the one guy, what's his name? He was a jobber, and now he's lost over 300 matches.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
And now it's his gimmick. His gimmick is that he always loses. So he flipped it. It's nice. It's cool. Kurt Hawkins.
And we can talk a little bit about that. Kurt Hawkins has recently started a tag team with Zack Ryder, another perennial loser, although not to the degray that Kurt has made a gimmick of it. Who have informally challenged the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championship, hoping to end their losing streak. That will most likely go on during WrestleMania, during the pre-show. That would be my guess. It has not been made official yet on the card, so I didn't announce it, but it is a match that is likely to happen. Also, expect John Cena to fight somebody.
Oh yes. Yeah, he'll show up somewhere. You can't have WrestleMania without their poster boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't see a WrestleMania without Cena showing up.
And we will get into that. Also, is Cena the new Undertaker? Well, with Vince mad at Undertaker, the answer is most likely yes. So now that we've gotten through the entire card, and I think it's time to decide who we think is going to win. And I wanted to do a nice way for us to do that is to actually keep score.
Yeah.
And I figured, we've been talking about doing this wrestling RPG for so long, and I imagine that all three of us are going to play in it. So, for every match, you make your pick, and you may bid up to 5 meta points.
Okay.
These will act as your meta points when we do the wrestling show. All right?
Okay.
Heavy play.
Okay.
So for every match that you call, however many meta points you bid is how many you win. If you lose, that's how many meta points you lose off your total.
Okay.
You can bid up to 5 on any match. You start with 0, so you can bid as many as you want as long as you're willing to lose all of them. Very high stakes.
Minimum bets on these?
We don't. Minimum bet is 1.
Minimum bet's 1.
Minimum bet is 1.
Okay.
You have
cool.
to do 1.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
I think that's fair.
You want to pass me that?
Well, we gotta actually go through the matches, which is why we can't do them both at the same time.
I was gonna do pictures.
I know that you're really excited about the pictures, and I am too. So let's absolutely go with the pictures. So Maggie made a slideshow, and it was gonna go on the camera, but
I messed it up because I'm not good at things.
we forgot how that works. So
Computers make our lives better and easier, except, of course, when they don't.
Yeah, okay. So, look.
These are our WrestleMania predictions. I'm going to go ahead and make a scorecard up right now.
I like it.
For myself, who I am labeling as winner.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And then Luke.
Almost winner.
And Maggie.
Not winner.
What? No, that's not what I was saying. You were going to pick so many of these right. It's WrestleMania. Anything can happen, and Vince likes to throw a swerve at us.
Very true.
That's true. All right. Should I do the first one?
Yes. So our first match,
which you guys really can't see, but you see how there's so many people.
That's
I'm going like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's right. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Okay. So
He's got the list.
There are 30 participants in this match.
Okay.
All right. Starting with Braun Strowman, the monster among men.
Get these hands.
He gets these
all
hands.
that.
He's literally the biggest, meanest guy in WWE right now. He's kind of the, well...
Yeah.
He's the closest analog to Andre the Giant.
Or Big Show, or
Yeah.
any of those really big guys. He's not as big as either of those guys, but he makes up for it with his ridiculous superhuman strength that he uses to flip over ambulance stages, tables.
Yeah.
The ring might get flipped. We have to be honest about that.
Also, everyone else is smaller now, so it still has the same visual pop.
Yeah, it definitely reads the same way. Okay, also, the two more entrants in this battle royale. Michael Che and Colin Yost from Saturday Night Live.
Tap dancing Jehoshaphat.
Yeah,
Which is that's the whole Braun Strowman storyline, though.
is that he's mad at the Saturday Night Live guys for saying wrestling is fake. Or
giving him a car.
No,
and giving him a car.
Michael Che is into it, but Colin Jost was like making fun of.
Right, but Colin has drugged Michael down with him and now also has to participate in the Battle Royale. Expect that to be an interesting side story. Next we have Andrade, followed by Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, the Lucha House Party consisting of 3 different guys who wear masks, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, the B team, Heath Slater and Rhino,
the pre-B team.
Yep.
Connor and Victor, Mustafa Ali, who is just Ali now. Yeah, just Ali now. Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery, and of course, EC3.
Oh.
So, a little bit of background. A battle royale, if you're not familiar with the match type, does not end in a pinfall or submission, which is why you can have 30 dudes all in the ring at the same time. The only rule is if you go over the top rope and both your feet touch the floor, you are out of the match. Simple as that. It's a great excuse for a bunch of dudes to throw a bunch of other dudes out of the ring. It's a really fun match to watch.
Yeah. Incidentally, wonderful, classy Freddie Blassie reference, Chad.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I'm excited. I am excited.
Yes, Mark, my computer went to sleep and then it wouldn't come back on with the slideshow. It wouldn't work, so we're lame. I'm sorry.
I blame myself.
I also blame you.
Fair.
All right. So, who are our favorites, but who do we think is going to win?
Well, Tyler Breeze has my heart forever and always because he's part of Breezango, which is the most ridiculous tag team I've ever seen, and therefore are my favorite tag team for the men. But he's not going to win, so I'm not choosing Tyler Breeze.
Okay.
I would love to see the B team continue their streak of winning randomly, because that's how they seem to win, but they both can't win. So I'm not choosing the B team. Oh, crap.
It's literally everybody on the roster who's done arena match.
I know. You know what? I'm going to pick Andrade. I'm picking Andrade because I think they want to give him a push.
I think Andrade might actually be the Vegas favorite right now, Maggie.
I want Andrade. I think he's going to win.
Maggie picks Andrade, and how many meta points you betting on this?
One single meta point for this.
Is, I believe, why.
Okay, how about you, Luke?
Oh man. See, I don't want to jump on that same train because that just seems silly.
No,
but,
you can jump on this. We can all be on the train.
Yeah, I mean, the more we win, the less we lose. That's the way. We're not competing against each other.
That's true.
We're competing against a game that has yet to actually happen.
See,
Liz, stop telling people what clothes I wear.
I'm so sad that I can't pick Braun Strowman for this reasonably, but he's in a comedy angle for the second year in a row, and it just feels like they're
last year his comedy angle paid off. For those of you who don't know, last year Braun Strowman competed for the SmackDown, the Raw Tag Team Championships, but he didn't have a partner, so he picked a 12-year-old kid named Nicholas out of the audience and won the Tag Team Champions, never tagging the young man in.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was ridiculous.
It was awesome.
And a lot of hardcore wrestling fans were pissed, which made me love it even more.
I adored it.
Yeah.
These are the same guys that were going, girls can't wrestle 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The problem I have with it, though, is that it not only is a comedy angle, but it's also a big man trying to win a Battle Royal or Royal Rumble, which historically...
Yeah, no.
Only one big man has ever done it. It's the Big Show.
Yep.
Well, with a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
With big men often win these battle royals. In fact, Braun has won it. Well, I believe Baron Corbin has won it. Mojo Rawley is. Yeah.
So possible. I'm still going to go with my heart instead, and I'm going Andrade for 1.
Andrade it is. Nice. Okay. I do not expect that I'm going to pick Andrade because I feel like he really is the favorite. He's one of the only guys involved in this that isn't involved in a comedy angle or B, a tag team. Most of these other guys are guys who are in a tag team. Now, they had Apollo Crews standing tall for the go-home show.
They did.
They had him clear the ring, which means that he loses.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because if you stand tall and clear the ring and beat the guy up that you're supposed to beat up on at the pay-per-view, right before the pay-per-view, you're gonna lose. Statistically, the math is against you if you are standing tall, which doesn't bode well for a lot of our heroic baby faces this week at WrestleMania. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick Chad Gable.
Ooh,
I love the pick.
I like that choice as well. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Chad Gable.
With Kurt Angle retiring and him having that same Olympic style wrestling background, and his partnership with Bobby Roode clearly about to come to an end now that they're accidentally hitting each other during the entrances. I'm going to say Chad Gable's my guy, and I'm going to bid 1.
Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, so next.
Like it.
Next is the women's. Again, sorry for the small font.
Okay, so the women's battle royal is there's only 13 entrants in it currently. And I'd like to talk about why, because it at first look, it appears that maybe they're giving the women a short shrift on something, but that is just plain not the case.
No, not
at all. He should totally be Clark Gable.
Yeah, the fact is, with the women's battle royal, the reason that there are only 13 participants is because those are basically the only women who are not already in a booked match at WrestleMania, and I couldn't be happier about that.
Yeah.
You know what though? If Lacey fucking Evans walks down in the middle of this for her stupid, she walks down and does nothing and walk back out, I'm gonna throw something.
Well, I will tell you who is confirmed. Although Lacey Evans is not confirmed for the Battle Royal, she will most likely come in.
Yeah. She will. She was in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, she started it off, in fact.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have the unstoppable Asuka.
Yes, Asuka. I love her.
Carmella.
I do like Carmella.
Naomi, who won last year.
Yep.
Lana. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
You want to play? Dana Brooke, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mickie James, Zelina Vega, and of course, most likely, Lacey Evans.
Yes.
Now that doesn't mean that more people will not be added. They might do a couple of NXT call-ups since there are so many fantastic women wrestling in NXT right now.
Yeah.
I'm betting it gets up to 20 total between NXT call-ups and a couple of...
But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go ahead and pick first right now, and I'm picking Lacey Evans as my favorite to win. They have been having her come out and not wrestle for 3 months, just coming down and doing her catwalk. It's time for some payoff. That lady can really throw down.
Yes, she can.
So,
but this is the payoff. She does nothing. Oh God, it makes me so.
No, it makes me mad. I don't think it's great booking, but I think that's what they're going with.
Yeah.
All right. I want to explain to everyone watching. There's a term called the mark. And now in Zoe, we have 500 marks that work for us, apparently. But in wrestling, when you're the mark, you fall for the storylines and you become way too emotionally invested in them. I am a mark. So I'm going to apologize in advance for some of the things I will say about people. It's because I am just so devoted to the storylines. But if goddamn Lacey Evans gets doing this, I'm going to be so mad.
And I'm only putting 1 on this because it's a battle royal and the math does not play in my favor. But otherwise, I would easily put 2 down on this. That's how sure I am, because I don't think, the favorite in this is going to be Asuka. She just lost to SmackDown's Women's Champion. She always cleans up in these battle royals. I don't think that they're going to let that happen since they're trying to do a Mandy Rose push right now. And that feud is happening with Asuka.
My vote is Mandy Rose.
Your vote is Mandy Rose.
Absolutely. 1 point on Mandy Rose.
Okay, Maggie's got 1.
1 point on Mandy Rose.
1 point wants Mandy Rose.
I agree with chat. Someone on chat said Mandy Rose, and I agree.
Yeah,
also, Mandy Rose, for all of much I didn't like her because her whole gimmick was sex, girl can wrestle, and her knee to the face.
And specifically Corey Graves losing his shit.
Oh my
over
God, he needs to just go like.
Well, here's the fact. I didn't like her simply because she was pretty, and I don't think that's fair because the girl could wrestle.
Yep.
No, I just didn't like that her only gimmick was sex. Like, if you do sex and you kick ass in the ring, I like you, which is why I changed my mind, because I saw her wrestle and I was like, damn, girl.
That girl can throw a knee. That's for darn sure.
I'm
going to go for a slight swerve on
Okay.
this one. I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler.
Oh, who's not confirmed for the match, but needs to make that jump from NXT, the developmental brand, and has been their champion for some time, and will most likely be dropping that on Saturday. You know what?
The cap is on. Sorry.
If Baszler loses her title on Saturday, I might jump ship with you.
I'm just saying, it's one of those where, as strong as the women's division is right now, there very much is a two-tier system there. Yeah. And there's a dearth of people at the top, and she would immediately fill that void.
She is a monster. She has got the same kind of gimmick that our Rouseys and our Sonya Deville's have with that MMA background, but she just looks so mean, and she makes everything she does look so mean.
Yeah.
She's one of my breakout stars from NXT right now.
Oh,
anyway, I love her to death.
Good choice. All right.
Excellent.
Next.
Yeah.
All right. I might move this closer.
I am 1 point on that.
Just one. Yeah.
Just 1 point on that. So. With me, I picked Lacey Evans. You picked.
I'm leaving it. Okay.
You picked Baszler. You picked Mandy Rose.
Yeah. We have all different picks for this one. That's awesome.
Okay, next up we have the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese.
All right, I'm turning this because we might have a camera fix that Mark texted James about, so that we can get a little bit more close up of my really high quality PowerPoint that I'm.
It's dynamite.
Made today. It's really crap. We just wanted to show you pictures because sometimes the people. It's more exciting when you see how ridiculous they look.
It's true, and a lot of people might not know these particular wrestlers, Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. They are from 205 Live. They represent the Cruiserweight division, which has its own show that nobody watches.
Unfortunate, but true.
It is unfortunate because it is literally the best wrestling on television. As far as just the wrestling part goes, they consistently work an amazing show in just under an hour.
And they're flippy. They're the tiny ones, so they flip everywhere, and it's incredible to watch them just bounce.
Now the current Cruiserweight champion, Buddy Murphy, is anything but tiny. He absolutely tops out that 205, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he weighed just a few pounds more. Because
they're lying about their weight?
He is usually...
You were 15 over.
He is almost always the biggest guy in the 205 Live ring, and he can absolutely throw down with any of the big, mid to high card wrestlers out there.
Yeah.
His moveset is spectacular. Yeah. His persona is monstrous. And he plays a great, like, unbeatable Brock Lesnar type character. Like, he can...
But a little guy.
But he's a little guy, so you can tell he's working harder for it.
Yeah.
But, man, he is... when Cedric Alexander won the Cruiserweight Championship, I thought he was the new face of the Cruiserweights. But Buddy Murphy, once he won that belt, has taken it above and beyond.
But I think Cedric Alexander got screwed because of the whole, what's his face? How you doing?
Enzo Amore? I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying that Buddy Murphy as a champion is something that everybody should be striving for in WWE. His run has been amazing. You know, he's not quite a full heel, but he's a heel.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I love is he's absolutely a committed heel, but he's not a chicken shit heel. In wrestling parlance, that's a bad guy who constantly wins by cheating.
Yeah,
and
the cowardly
and backing down from a fight.
Your classic Miz, your Mr. Ass,
Jericho sometimes.
Jericho all the time. Oh my God.
Old school Ric Flair is the gold standard of this still. Although, well,
he is
more of
he is more of the hardworking Brock Lesnar type of heel, where he's just like, you just can't beat him because he's beat your ass.
And we've had a question to define face and define heel. A face is a good guy. They're the good guy wrestlers. They're
short for baby face.
Baby face. You know, they're the ones they want us to cheer.
They smile and they want you to eat your vegetables, and they always
really nice
come from behind to win.
You know, they're always like, I get my power from you guys. You know, it's really great. And the heels are the bad guys, and they're the ones who are like, screw you, I hate everything. Brr.
And of course there is the tweener. Tweeners almost always are, they're never something that you attempt. When you attempt a tweener, you get shit characters. What a tweener usually is a heel that everybody likes.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch right now.
Exactly. It's just, I have to be a face because the audience will accept nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. You can't. Yeah. But you're doing an angle that's not exactly a babyface angle.
Yeah.
In the storyline.
Roddy Piper is a perfect example of a guy who was like one of the best heels, but eventually his popularity made him sort of a babyface for that very, very
You know what? I
reason.
agree. Chris Jericho was probably one of the most iconic tweeners.
You just love Chris Jericho. You just love Chris Jericho.
You're not wrong.
The thing that's great about Chris Jericho is when he's playing a heel, he is an amazing heel. And when he's playing a face, he's an amazing face. He never has to go tweener because he's believable as a good guy or a bad guy all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to pick. So who are our picks? In case you are not aware, Tony Nese, who is the person, he is the babyface in this situation.
It's still on. Yeah.
Yes. He is the babyface in this situation. Buddy Murphy is the defending heel in this situation. Where are you guys landing on this? Because my landing on this is going to be the best match of the show that nobody watches.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Personally, I go Buddy.
Okay.
I'm willing to go 2 on that, specifically because we have to have some more heel victories.
Yes.
Ooh, you know, I'm in agreement with you because the card is pretty stacked for faces, I think.
Especially towards the end.
Now, a lot of people are picking Tony, and here's why. 205 Live has a real serious babyface problem.
Ooh, okay.
They only have a few. It's a lot of bad guys and just a few good guys. And Tony Nese is one of the good guys right now.
Okay.
He's one of the very, very few. So they might be trying to push him because there's so many heels for him to go up against. And with a heel champion, there's only a few guys he can face.
Yeah, I see. That makes sense logistically.
On the other hand, Buddy Murphy is an unstoppable champion, and there's no reason to take the belt away from him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And since we've been denied the conclusion of Ciampa Gargano that we should have had, I think there's a very good chance that they bring Gargano up and try to keep that going.
Yeah.
And him and Murphy would be spectacular.
Yeah, I think I'm going, who has the belt right now?
Murphy.
Murphy. I'm going Murphy. I'm doing only 1 point.
Okay.
And I'm going Murphy because a belt switch, most people don't watch 205 Live, and as exciting, like belt switches, so for those, you get a belt when you're the champion, right? So when you lose your championship, you lose your belt. So if the belt switched to a new guy, I don't know. I'm very.
It's not a belt. It's a title.
It's a title.
It's not a title. It's a championship.
I
know. Okay. I don't think switching is going to be as exciting or have a big payoff as it will later in the evening. And so I think they're just going to they're going to give it to Murphy because he's already got it and hope that the wrestling is good enough that maybe some people tune in. That's what I think.
All right. So you picked Murphy for 1. What do you got?
I'm going to go Murphy 1.
Murphy 1.
Yeah.
I'm going Nese.
Okay.
Simply to be a jerk.
I like it.
And I would not hate that outcome.
It's a WrestleMania moment, but again, with a face-heavy card like we're doing, Murphy's probably got the edge. So this is me wishful thinking. Hey, let's switch things up a little on 205 Live. That doesn't mean that's going to happen, and that's okay. So next up, what do we got?
Okay, next up, James, I need to leave the computer in this configuration for you, correct?
Yes, please. I'm still working on it.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, next up we have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Oh, look what he did. He's so good.
Well, look at
The
that.
SmackDown Championships
You demand.
with Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, and the newcomers, Ricochet and Aleister Black.
This is, for me, the hardest choice of the night.
Now, storyline-wise, this is a fun match.
Yeah.
Because this is punishment for the Usos. which is going to put the Usos, who are normally kind of tweeners, in the clear babyface department as far as what they're fighting against this weekend.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Jimmy and Jay Uso, the Usos are twins.
So?
And they're just badass, high-flying, hard-hitting Samoan gangsters. Yeah. They're just so cool.
Went from being really dancey, happy Samoans
with
to
the face paint and the
whole
flippy
shebang. Twisted it around, went evil, but are just so entertaining that bam.
You can't not love them.
They're a good tweener.
They are great tweeners, yes.
They are heels, but you love them. And every week they're going to take you to the Uso Penitentiary.
It's delightful.
I love the Usos. The Usos, for me, are jobbers who have deserved a WrestleMania moment.
And they haven't got one.
They haven't gotten one.
This is going to be it for them.
God.
Also, they just re-signed.
Yep.
They just re-signed, which tells me that you want to keep them happy because they were this close to being free agents and maybe jumping ship to one of these upstart companies.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yes, we will.
Oh, God. See, my heart wants to pick Ricochet and Aleister Black because, as we've discussed, they're the tag team that we didn't know we needed.
That we didn't know we wanted.
But I don't think they are winning their first WrestleMania.
But
also,
they get one like right after joining the roster. So
also, that will be their third tag team title bout in a week.
Yeah.
They will have fought for the Raw titles last Monday.
Yep.
They're fighting for the NXT titles tomorrow.
Yep.
And then fighting for the SmackDown titles on Sunday.
They're not winning tomorrow, though, because the War Raiders are going to take them to school.
Yeah. Absolutely correct.
And then I think they're going to use them having so many matches as they're less physically able to wrestle, or they're they're too tired.
So our old school tag team guys, the Usos, are being punished because last week during the famed tag team gauntlet match to determine whether Kofi gets his match at WrestleMania, the Usos came out as the fourth team of five.
Third team of five.
Was it the third team of five? Fourth team of five.
Because they were just before.
After the New Day, who were fighting for their friend's spot in WrestleMania, and they were getting hella beat down and just barely squeaked by the skin of their teeth. The Usos came out and got on the microphone instead of in their faces and said, hey, we respect you. We've had lots of battles together. Kofi deserves this shot. We forfeit. Dropped the mics and walked out. Which was like one of the most baller things I've ever seen in a wrestling ring.
I did cry. I physically started
She did. She started bawling. It was beautiful. And it was like, man, because we have all been rooting for Kofi these last couple of months.
Yeah. Okay, and who else is in it? Ricochet, Aleister Black, Kofi, Usos. Oh, the Bar.
The Bar. You can't discount the Bar. Sheamus and Cesaro are a force in that ring, and they are a great tag team together.
Yeah.
So,
and Nakamura and Rusev, while I love both of them, make no sense why they're together storyline-wise. It makes me crazy.
We've forgotten their Rusev and Shinsuke over here.
Yeah, Rusev and Shinsuke, which is great because it's like my favorite wrestler and Maggie's favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And they're in a tag team together, but I couldn't be less interested.
Yeah, no, they're not going to win.
It's really
I disagree.
You think
my call is for Rusev and Shinsuke to take the titles. I know that's weird. I know it's not popular, but I think it's going to go down. I really do.
I
do that.
Are they on SmackDown or Raw right now?
They're on SmackDown.
They're on SmackDown.
These are for the SmackDown titles.
Right. So
it's a new lease on life for those guys. Ricochet and Aleister don't need the titles. They are so over right now. Everybody loves them because you took the two most interesting guys from NXT who are interesting for completely different reasons, and you put them in a tag team together. So you've got the high-flying, flippy-do, superhero guy, and then you've got...
And the crazy black metal Death Knight, who's also somehow flippy?
Who's also somehow flippy and kicks your head clean off every time he strikes at you.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, are we gonna pick?
I think this is gonna be a classic bad guys swerve. We want to, if we want the matches later to turn out the way we want them to turn out, we have to let some heels win. And right now, they're the ones.
I agree. So
the Bar has walked away with plenty of tag team championships.
Yeah.
Let's give Rusev and Nakamura something to do, or let's let them go on to greener pastures and actually work the way that they should be working with two of the greatest wrestlers in the business today.
Yeah.
Give them the titles. It'll give them something to do, and it'll let them re-sign their contracts when they come up here real soon.
You know what? That makes sense. I also, so for those of you who don't know, after WrestleMania, one of the most exciting things is that, because there's two shows, right? There's Raw and there's SmackDown. You have wrestlers on each show. After WrestleMania is the Superstar Shakeup, where they start swapping. So some people stay on the show they were on, but then some people swap. So sometimes in determining who wins and who loses is because they want that team to swap shows, and I think the Bar is going to swap shows.
Putting 2 down on that.
Putting 2 on that?
I'm betting 2 points that...
that Shinsuke and Rusev win?
Yep, I got Rusev Nakamura.
Oh, God, I want to do the Usos, but your points were so valid.
Moving on to Luke.
Going with the Usos for 1.
Usos for 1, okay.
You know what? Screw it. I'm giving it to him. Aleister Black and Ricochet for 1. I'm just going for it.
Yeah, I did.
Black and Ricochet. That's
Which
fun.
I wouldn't hate either. If that put them into a program with the Usos and was how they came
I'm telling you, I love those guys. I'll watch them do anything. Even if it's in a tag team together, which I didn't think I was going to like, and now know that I need on a weekly basis.
Look at them. Look how good. Oh, they're over here. Look how good they look. They're so cute together.
Yeah. Ricochet's adorable, and Aleister Black is like he's scary, but you still want to hug him, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so next match is Kurt Angle, this guy right here, Olympic athlete. He did win the gold medal.
With a broken freaking neck.
Versus Baron Corbin, douchebag of the century.
Ooh.
Guess where our rooting allegiances lie.
Right?
Obviously, Baron Corbin is the most hated heel in the WWE right now.
But I hate him because he is boring.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's so boring.
He's not. He's got a great moveset. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. And he plays a coward.
And his pants are never the right size, and it bothers the heck out of me.
No, they're way too tight, and he wears a vest in the ring, and it's just... Everything about him is so bad and so good. There's a reason he's as hated as he's hated, and
also, though, I will say, it is painful physically for me to watch Kurt Angle wrestle right now, because he has put his body through so much, and the man can't even, his legs...
He doesn't even have a neck to friggin' break.
His legs are bent when he stands. He's got this, walk, and then he starts trying to throw people, and I just get scared that I'm actually going to see something break.
Now, Gamers Tavern Show brings up a great point, and one that I was going to bring up myself. On the one hand, Angle has been set up to win this match.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the rule, and this has been the standing rule in the business for as long as the business has been around, you go out on your back. You put the next guy over. Undertaker did it and then came out of retirement 2 more times. But it's an always thing.
Yeah.
I'm open to some interpretation for how you think this is going to go down.
I do not think that Baron Corbin is going to compete in this match.
No.
I firmly believe this is where John Cena will be used. Although there is one potential for him to be used elsewhere that would also make sense.
Interrupting Elias?
Actually, I'm thinking as a replacement potentially for...
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it would be a fitting bookend for Cena to be the one who retires Angle since
Cena beat Angle the first... I want that to happen so badly.
Since the start of the whole Ruthless Aggression era started with that open challenge.
That's what we all want.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
But it has been made very clear that the match we are going to get is Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. The match that nobody wants, but we're all going to watch because it's Kurt's last.
Whatever, I'm putting 1 down for John Cena. I like Luke's thought.
Maggie's putting 1 down for John Cena winning that match.
My heart is so full with that idea.
I love it too. I hope it goes down that way. That would be a great send-off for our guy.
Yeah, it really would. So who do you pick, Luke?
Oh no, I'm absolutely going for Cena.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Christian,
I'm putting it down.
1?
Go 1. We'll stay one.
Stay in one. So far, you guys are betting.
We're betting low.
You're betting low. That's fine.
Because I have some big bets later on coming up here.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah.
And man, I feel like
I'm betting ones, but I've also bet on 2 people that aren't in the matches. So
that's fair. That's fair.
All right, who are you picking, Christian?
So I think because of the type of match it is, which is a last match, that they're gonna go with it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be poor Kurt Angle is gonna be getting his butt kicked all over by Big Bad Baron, and there's gonna be a lot of heat that he generates through that. And at the end, after the 1, 2, 3 is over, that somebody comes down, maybe John Cena, throws the beat down back, and we still end up with triumphant Kurt Angle putting Big Baron in an ankle lock at the end of the night.
Losing in his final, but leaving.
Losing, but still leaving on top. That's how I'm going.
We all still get to scream "You suck" at him as he leaves the ring, and just so you know, that is a term of endearment for Kurt Angle.
So I'm calling Corbin wins the match.
Okay.
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
I am only putting 1 on it because I don't want that to happen, even though I have a feeling that it will.
All right. Next.
All right, Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Excuse me, don't you mean Shane McMahon, the best wrestler in the world? He's got a trophy and everything.
Shane McMahon is this one. He's been. Oh no! Oh god! Oh, I pressed it. Hold on. Backspace. Okay. And this is The Miz, who you might recognize from
The Real World Seattle.
Yeah.
New York 2.
Was it New York 2?
Yeah, he was the racist who learned something.
The racist who learned something, man.
Remember those tropes on Real World?
Oh, man. I want to get real with you right now.
Right? Just for the sake of time, I think I'm just going to say right now I'm picking Miz.
I'm going to go Shane. Only because I think there's a chance to draw this out for at least 1 more pay-per-view.
Oh, really?
So, Maggie, you're going with Miz. How many?
I'm going 2 with Miz.
2 on The Miz.
Because it's going to be awesome.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Shane McMahon, who is traditionally portrayed as a babyface character, and The Miz is traditionally portrayed as a heel character, have really switched roles in the last few months.
Yeah.
Shane, the boss's son, went super bad guy and beat up The Miz and beat up his dad in his hometown in front of everybody. It was really humiliating. The Miz is set up for a big comeback. He just beat up, what are those guys? Sanity.
Sanity.
All 3 of them. He beat up
Shelton Benjamin.
And Shelton Benjamin. He's been beating up everybody. I feel like he's going to lose because, I really feel like there is more of this story to tell. They want to drag this on a little bit longer. I think the only thing that we really need
blow off in a cage match between the 2 at some point to keep out outside distraction.
Before Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stick with Miz because I like him though.
I wish that is what they do.
Yeah, but I'm going with Shane on this one. However, because it's Falls Count Anywhere, I think all of Sanity will get involved.
Absolutely.
Because they can. There's not going to be anything disqualifying them.
And hell, you've already ruined them as a group. So.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing we really need to really bet on is what is Shane going to jump off of, and what is he going to jump into?
Right.
Shane, if you don't know, every time he wrestles a match, especially at a WrestleMania, he jumps off of something very high and crashes through something that is on the ground.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for 25 years now.
Yeah.
He is getting old. He doesn't have that many more things he can jump off of.
He's 49 and doing this. It's ludicrous.
It is ludicrous. Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't. I don't know if I can say what I think he's going to jump off of because I don't know what the set is.
Oh, well, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, so it'll just
But I mean, but the set that they have in the stadium of things for him to climb, like the one year there was that runway to the ring was what 100 meters or something.
Yeah, it was very, very long.
You know, and so I don't since I don't know that, I don't know what he's going to jump off of, but we all know he's going to jump off of something.
Yes.
Okay, so how many points for you, Luke?
Uno.
Uno on Shane, 2 on Miz.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping 2 on Shane.
There you go.
Good man.
I would love to see Miz walk away with this. But I like it when the good guys win.
All right, next match here.
Next match, the Women's Tag Team Championships!
Okay, so for those who don't know who these people are,
the Boston Hug Connection.
The Boston Hug Connection. This is Bayley and Sasha, and they currently have the women's tag team belts. They won them 2 months ago.
Making them the inaugural champions.
Yes, very first ones. Next to them over here are the Iconics. Then down here we have Nia and Tamina. And then over here we have Natalya, who's a regular, and WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix.
That's right.
Back to
the Glamazon.
The Glamazon. So
she was the giant lady before Nia Jax came on the scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just awesome.
I already know who my pick is for this.
Yes.
Again, I pick a lot with my heart, which usually I'm going to have no meta points when we do the rest of it. But I have to go with my heart, which is I'm picking the Iconics.
You love the Iconics.
I love the Iconics. They made me hate them, and therefore I love them.
Which is I love that you understand that about the about heel wrestlers in general. Like you actually love them.
Yeah, I think so. Sasha,
and yes, Gamers Tavern Show, they are the ones that keep playing up that god-awful Screaming West accent that makes you mute the show. Yep. That's why we love them. They've taken an accent that isn't really that bad, and they have made it the most grating sound that you can hear with your ears.
And I forever love them for that.
And yeah, they're just so good. They're not the best in-ring workers in the company.
No.
But what they do have is a lot of personality, and they play up some really, really fun tag team heel tactics.
They do, and I think that so Sasha and Bayley, I don't want them to retain. That's boring.
Because they're more fun. They're more fun chasing the championships than they are having the championships.
They are. And also, I hate Sasha Banks. That aside, Nia and Tamina, while the powerhouses, I don't see them winning. Again, I know we were talking about some heel victories, but I just don't. Nia Jax, first of all, if she doesn't injure one of these women, I'll be surprised because Nia Jax keeps injuring people. So, and I don't think that should be rewarded, and I think that they know that. So they got to have them in the match, but I don't think they get a belt. I think the Iconics are like the little guys. Like I know I voted for Ricochet and Aleister Black. They're not going to win, but they have a little guy thing, or like it's gonna be out of nowhere. It's gonna be one of those like someone else was almost pinned and then something else happened in the ring, and then all of a sudden 1, 2, 3 done. Iconics win. What?
Yeah, well that's the only way they ever win.
Yeah. But that's how.
Quick roll-ups, sneaky moves.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with Iconics, and I'm putting 3 meta points on it because I love them that much.
Okay, so 3 on the Iconics.
I know. No, I should do 2 because it's iconic. Okay, just 2.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, 2.
Well done.
I gotta keep it.
Iconics for 2. All right.
Okay.
So I see this going one of 2 ways. The Iconics, I think, is the way that I would like to see it go as well. Specifically, just because all of the other tag teams within the women's division are just 2 random people that are thrown together. Like they have been a duo since before they were called up to the main roster. It's their whole shtick. They're the only existing legitimate tag team within WWE within the women's division right now.
Only because they've been a tag team longer than they've had a tag team division.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because they refuse to not wrestle with each other.
Right. I see it either going to them, or I could also see it going to Natalya and...
Potato Pope says, Dougie, in fact, says the Beth Phoenix is going to break a hip. The answer is yes, but whose?
Yeah.
She is still got it.
Yeah, boy, I hope the 38 isn't the hip-breaking age, because I'm getting real
Isn't she the same age as Mickie James? Like, they're the same age, right?
Something like that.
You're right, they could take it.
And specifically, I think they might do that for a feel-good tie-in to the Hart Foundation going into...
Oh.
The Hart Foundation is getting inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame the day before this goes down.
Right, and her father just died. Natalya's whole family has been in wrestling, and her father did die just a couple months ago, Bret the Hitman Hart.
I don't have it anymore.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, sorry.
Brett's still with us, everybody. Sorry.
There's so many names. I'm just...
No, I was sorry that he was still with us. You don't need to apologize. He complains a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, he
came by it honestly, though.
You're right, though. It might be a...
I just hate complainers.
Give Natty something.
So I'm going to put 1 on Natty and Beth, which...
It'll be over quickly, though.
It'll be over quick.
Natty and Beth?
Yeah, Natty and Beth won.
That'll be to the next pay-per-view, and then it changes again.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good little run. Natty Beth won. The only reason she came back was to go for those tag team championships.
That's true. Yeah, they're going to win.
I can see that. So you've got the Iconics for 2. You've got Natty and Beth for 1. I'm taking...
Who you taking?
Taking Nia and Tamina.
Yeah.
Ooh!
They're just classic bad guys. They've been in the company for a long time. Tamina's never held a title in WWE.
That's a good point.
Oh, that is true.
And she's one of the older wrestlers. There's no reason they shouldn't give her a little title run. Might as well give her a WrestleMania moment while we're at it. Plus, I like seeing the good guys chase the giant bad guys for a title.
And for those of you who don't know, Tamina is part of the wonderful Samoan dynasty.
It's Tamina Snuka. That's
No, we don't say that.
She's just
we
she and
don't
Nia
say
Jax.
that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, I didn't say it. She's part of the dynasty. Anyway, next match. Yeah, we're good.
Oh no, I was talking about the Snuka.
Yeah.
We don't mention Snuka. We don't talk about Benoit's or Snukas.
The United States Championship, Rey Mysterio right here, part of the Lucha House Party, versus Samoa Joe.
Joe's gonna kill ya.
Yeah, I think
just one on that Lumiere. Just the 1 point for me.
Man, I don't see Joe going down at WrestleMania. I feel like they wanted to give Joe a push when he first started. He got injured. They've had to rebuild him. They finally got him back to WrestleMania. I think
he got injured again.
I think they're giving it to Joe. Also, his run with AJ Styles was really good. He's good when he has a belt.
He's good when he does anything. He's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am putting 2 points on Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Joe murders everybody, and since he got that into the U.S. Championship, scene, he has been killing everyone. He's going to murder everyone.
Yeah, he's going.
First of all, one thing before we go, this match may not happen, simply because Rey Mysterio is nursing an ankle injury right now. He is not.
I didn't know that.
He was injured over on Tuesday during his match with Baron Corbin, of course.
Douchebag! He's a douchebag! I hate you, Baron Corbin. God, you made me hate you. I'm a mark.
So what this means is that the match might not go down and somebody will probably take his place.
Yes.
Okay.
Now who that is, we can only guess.
I have 2. On the one hand, it would be very easy to have this be the other place where Cena could slide in.
Oh,
since he was the one who started the Open Championship Challenge. When John Cena held the U.S. title, his big thing was he just came out every week and said, I don't have a match scheduled. You want a shot? Come take one. So that would be fitting. Or I would also really like if instead of John Cena coming out, R-Truth came out thinking he was John Cena. And pick that thread back up.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see that happen. Because that was such a that's my favorite thing R-Truth has done possibly ever.
I can't even handle that idea.
I mean,
I'm picking R-Truth. God damn it, Luke, you're so good at this.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be so good if it did. Plus, you get he can come out and...
R-Truth should come out as John Cena, and then John Cena comes out.
And is in his corner, or... I'm just saying, there's options.
So what's your pick?
There's options. I am going to go with...
I still think Samoa Joe wins, though.
Yeah, I'm actually still going for Joe for 1.
Joe for 1, Joe for 1?
I said Joe for 2.
Joe for 2.
Joe for 2. I still think Joe's going to win. I'm just really hoping that what Luke just said happens, because I'll scream much louder than I could hear. Oh no, our pen lost ink.
Our pen is dead.
There's more here, luckily. Oh, okay, that's amazing.
I'm assuming there was nothing but net.
Oh no,
that
went in.
Okay, good. So you're Joe for 2?
Joe for 2.
Joe for 2. You're Joe for 1.
Yeah. What are you picking, babe?
Oh man, I don't see Joe losing. I just don't see Joe losing.
Yep.
I just think it's too early.
Even if R-Truth comes out, I don't see Joe losing.
Yeah, no, he's.
I'm calling it Joe. Joe for 1.
All right, moving on. All right. Ah.
Now here we are.
Bobby Lashley, right here, former UFC fighter, versus Finn Balor, who is I've been assured will be the Demon King.
Yeah, he did his whole transformation sequence. Now he sticks his tongue out, which he never did before.
For the Intercontinental Championship, for those of you who don't know, Finn Balor is a very oh god, I went too far back. Finn Balor is a very cute little tiny man, lots of abs from Ireland.
He's actually 60% ab.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But when you make Finn Balor angry enough, he has to release his inner Demon King, and the Demon King wrestles. Now
the Demon's got a different entrance. The Demon has never been beaten.
Completely different character, same wrestler, and you bet your ass I am saying Finn Balor 5 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Finn 5.
Finn 5, Finn 5.
Yeah.
We're all picking Finn Balor for 5.
We're done.
Yep. Also, if Bobby Lashley wins.
You know why? Because that's easy points.
Yeah, if Bobby Lashley wins, I might strangle a puppy that I own. Like, that's how angry I would be if Bobby Lashley won, because he's the most boring.
I'm going to send the dogs to the panel for the weekend.
This is why I don't own dogs.
Because you'd strangle them if Bobby Lashley wins the match?
No, but somebody else might.
No, I'll never actually do that to my puppies, you know that. But Bobby Lashley is the most boring wrestler with no gimmick. They even gave him another human being full of charisma to make him likable, and it still didn't work.
So, Gamer7 says, which, by the way, that character is highly controversial due to the makeup being black.
What?
Because the makeup is black, I guess.
Finn Balor's
on
Demon makeup?
Yeah. That's what Gamer's Tavern Show is saying. Even though it's based on traditional, I mean, I understand it's based, but it's not.
Oh, a lot of people are calling it black.
Oh, yeah, but it's not blackface.
Yeah.
Blackface is a very specific, awful thing that isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, just because I hadn't heard that angle.
I've never heard that either.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's good to be aware and to always be watching for bad things like that, and you know, make sure everyone's doing the correct stuff.
But that is not an example of blackface.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
No, that's. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
All right. So next is Batista up here, who's, you might recognize, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy and was a.
But greener.
Yes, much greener.
Much greener.
Versus Triple H in a no-holds-barred match.
In a no-holds-barred match. Now, Triple H's career. This is Triple H's career that is on the line for this match. Batista has made no such claim. His career is not on the line, although he probably never will wrestle again after this weekend.
Yeah.
This is one of those matches that you put on the Wrestlemania card to get people who don't watch wrestling to watch it because it's got movie star and the boss in it.
Well, and the whole it was so much better back in the day when it was all these big guy rock. This is for all those people. We got an old.
There you go. You get your big Haas fight, and you get to probably watch both of them tear horrible muscles out of their body. Watching Triple H fights just hurts my feelings now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Batista's still got it. I mean, these guys both keep in tip-top shape. It's going to be a short match, no matter what happens.
It'll be a short spot fest, which I have zero problem with.
And the build-up to it has been really, really, really good.
They've utilized Batista so well in this compared to his last run. Although I will say, Blutista and his exit was amazing. The little wave goodbye.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, I just don't see Trips losing. I really don't.
No, I think Triple H wins.
I mean,
now he did just go through a really rough injury. He might not want to wrestle anymore, and this might be a way for him to get out of that. I'm just saying.
And I could see it
Devil's
as a
advocate.
I could see that also as a transition to him being a full-time, with the not just brand split, but the two different networks owning the shows and going live.
That's true.
They could try and break him off officially and have it be Vince versus Hunter.
Yeah, but if Batista wins, I mean, then what? That's a story that goes nowhere.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, I guess, okay, Triple H, you lost. We'll see you next WrestleMania next year when you come in with your wife, Stephanie McMahon.
For an unsanctioned match.
Right? So I guess Batista could win.
So, what are we calling here?
Triple H for one.
Triple H for one.
Trips for one. Also, Triple H has lost more than any other wrestler in WrestleMania history.
Really?
For as much as he's always rightfully accused of putting himself ahead of other people,
yes,
he's more than willing to lay down during a big show. I think this would be one.
He does it on the regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, I'm gonna call Batista then.
All right, do it.
You know,
call Batista.
I'm not gonna have any points, but whatever.
No, I'm choosing by my heart, not logic. Okay, next.
Yes.
We
Next,
have
Randy Orton versus AJ Styles.
So Randy
the
Orton,
WWE Golden Boy versus the indie superstar on his last legs.
I call this the match between the two men who can raise their arms better.
Mm-hmm.
This is the arm raising match.
Raising your arms above your head. Who did it better?
Who did it better?
That's the whole match.
I'm much more excited for this one than I was expecting to be,
really?
as you had mentioned.
Okay.
Just because they took the classic young up-and-comer fighting John Cena. Yeah, well, you're just blah, 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 blah. Well, you've only done it in indices, blah, blah. I mean, it's so cookie-cutter for like 17 different Cena feuds. But it kind of makes sense in this one because they're both so storied and accomplished within their respective groups.
That's
like
true.
it's just a different vibe.
Yeah, Randy Orton's been winning titles since 2002.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles has been winning titles everywhere
Since 2002.
Yeah, they it's two very, very different stories. You know, you've got Randy Orton, who got the job because he was young and smart and looked great, and his dad was a wrestler.
Well, and is legitimately, if you were going into the lab...
He's a great physical specimen, and he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And one of the podcasts I listen to talks about this all the time. When thinking about a person on NXT is going to be a successful call-up, have them stand next to Randy Orton. Do they look believable in the ring with Randy Orton?
Oh, I like that.
Then they'll translate up to that next level. And I don't think it's perfect, but like, he's just...
He is like, if you were going to create a WWE superstar in a lab,
that's what
he's basically going to be Randy Orton.
I think, so I'm torn, because I think they're going to give Randy Orton a push.
Yeah.
Because I think Randy Orton, for me, is over the hill in his wrestling career.
Yeah.
He's going to start, we're going to see him less and less, but he's going to keep coming back and doing big stuff.
And he's going to start getting, his contract's almost up. He's going to start getting big money offers from some other promotions here any
which
second.
We'll talk about later.
Yeah, we might not have time. But, because...
Later could be any time.
Oh, right, okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm calling AJ for this one because I think they want to give Randy a feud. I think they want to make Randy work for it.
I'm calling AJ on the opposite booking principle because they showed the RKO out of nowhere already on Tuesday.
Go home?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Also, I think AJ really does need a chance to get back into...
He does.
Into that after, like, the program with Daniel Bryan was great. I'm not displeased by how that played out at all, but
let's get him back to the top of the card, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do 2 points on AJ Styles.
2 points on Styles.
Yep.
Okay. And you're gonna go AJ?
Let's go 2 on AJ. as well. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do AJ 1 actually.
All right.
I
Here we
feel
go.
like I couldn't ignore that go home angle.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it.
Next match is
Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, the Scottish psychopath versus the Big Dog.
And for those of you, so Drew McIntyre, for those of you who haven't been up to date, he just came back to us. He had been gone for a while, and as you can see, he is a behemoth of a man.
Yeah, they let him grow some body hair and learn to wrestle.
Yeah, and he's insane.
And learn to wrestle, he did.
And for those of you who don't know, this is Roman Reigns, who he's gotten a really big push by the WWE before, and people love him and hate him. It's a split company. However, Roman Reigns, 8 months ago, had to drop his belt because he got leukemia, and he has just come back as of a month ago after beating leukemia. And if Roman Reigns isn't winning this match, I don't know. Oh God, Roman's winning.
Roman Reigns is winning this match.
He just beat leukemia. He's winning the match.
No, look, the math can only be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
He just beat cancer. He hasn't had a singles match since he came back. And to top that all off, Drew McIntyre has been beating the crap out of him out of nowhere for weeks and weeks, and basically kicked Dean Ambrose's head clean off twice. Putting Dean Ambrose off TV.
Now, I do think, my question is, does the Shield, despite Seth Rollins having a match later in the night and Dean Ambrose leaving the company, do they come in and help Roman Reigns during the match?
That doesn't matter.
But I mean, just for excitement.
Side bets? Absolutely. Dean Ambrose shows up.
I think Dean Ambrose shows up as a final farewell and helps his brother in arms.
I believe that Drew McIntyre is going to win this match.
Oh!
I'm only putting one on it. I am absolutely booking for what I would like to see happen, because that is a swerve. That is a swerve.
It is a swerve.
That would
You're right.
absolutely get all of us. And then I really want Drew to be in a position to be a monster coming out of this. Like, they've done a really great job.
Drew is the most protected wrestler next to Brock Lesnar right now.
Yeah.
He hasn't been pinned clean since he's been back on the main roster. His finishing move has not been kicked out of.
Nope.
Not once.
Wow.
By Enterburner.
That's what you sound like after you take the claymore to the face.
Yeah. Never birded any burger.
That's the same last time.
Was he talking about honey butter?
You know what? I like what you're saying. I'm going to stick with Roman, but I like your storyline.
You Roman for one?
Yeah.
I would not be displeased if Roman won in the slightest, by the way.
Yeah, no, I dig it. Dig it. Christian?
I'm calling Roman with a pull-out victory and a Dean Ambrose assist.
Yeah,
I'm calling it 2.
I do think Roman only wins with the aid of Dean.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, next.
So I had Roman for 2, Luke did Drew for 1, Maggie did Roman for 1.
All right. The event of the evening, everyone.
Hey, one of them.
Kofi Kingston versus the new Daniel Bryan, who, by the way, I chose this picture because for those of you who don't know, that is an all-hemp, all-natural belt because he is the planet Earth's savior, but he's an asshole.
He's so amazing.
This man is incredible. So you bet your ass I'm putting
equally amazing.
Absolutely.
Kofi
Mania.
Kofi for 5.
You're on Kofi for 5. Maggie's just jumping right in. Kofi 5.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want it. Kofi for 3.
Kofi for 3. Okay. We have a lot of Kofi fans.
So one of the reasons we feel very strongly about this, and it's actually, so one of the arguments that we've heard a lot of times, maybe you're thinking this at home, like, wrestling's fake. We've been talking about storylines, like, oh, well, you gotta have so-and-so win so that this can happen, which is all true. What you need to know about Kofi Kingston is that 2 pay-per-views ago, right? 2?
Mm-hmm.
2 pay-per-views ago, Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in a match. Mustafa Ali got injured the day before the match. They threw Kofi Kingston in and just like, hey, you got to take his place. You got to wrestle.
Wrestle the same match he was going to wrestle.
Right? Yeah. You got to learn what the move set that you're doing or whatever the thing is and just do it. Kofi wrestled for over an hour and it was amazing. He kind of blew all of us away and overnight became an instant sensation. They overnight had to write him a brand new storyline with him going to WrestleMania, which had never been planned this year.
Yeah.
Like, Vince McMahon never, at the beginning of this year, would have been like, Kofi Kingston, he's a contender for WrestleMania. Like, no, that's not even real.
Get me Kofi, you son of a bitch. Yeah, wouldn't happen.
But if they need somebody to fill in for a match, Kofi's the first guy they call.
It is.
All the time.
And so they called him, and everyone went wild, and we all continued to go wild. And then they've done this thing where he had to do a gauntlet match. He had to do he had to wrestle 5 different guys on the same night, and then, of course, and then he could go to WrestleMania, but they took it away from him, and then he had to wrestle Daniel Bryan, and he lost, so he wasn't going to WrestleMania, but then he could go to, whatever.
So here's what I want. I want Kofi to win just because it'll give Daniel Bryan a chance to go back to doing what Daniel Bryan does best as the new Daniel Bryan and hate all of us for eating factory farm food.
Yes.
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 Instead of just being Vince's lapdog, which I don't like that angle with him, especially since he's fighting as the Vince McMahon character in the storyline that he was in 5 years ago.
Yep.
Like, I get the full circle thing, but Give me Kofi.
Yeah.
And then let's let new Daniel Bryan be new Daniel Bryan, like one of the best heels in the business right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I'm going Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi has to win. I'm actually afraid that if Kofi doesn't win,
with a possible New Day turn.
Oh, that's right. You want the New Day turn.
I think there's a New Day turn coming. Either if not Sunday,
I
then
bet
Tuesday.
for Tuesday. If they go that route, I'm saying Tuesday.
It's going to be during the shakedown, or the shake-up rather. Yeah, I'm afraid that if Kofi doesn't win, people in the stadium might actually riot.
Well, they've been sitting there for 7 hours to watch that match at that
right?
point.
Like, if Kofi doesn't win, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Kofi Mania. Love you, Kofi Kingston. All right. Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar, the Beast.
And we'll be getting at least one. I have till 5 refs. Yeah, definitely. That is going to happen.
Yeah.
Versus Seth Rollins, current member of the Shield. I guess they're back together. So I hate Brock Lesnar with an undying passion in my soul, and I want him to burn in a fiery pool of lava, and that's just fine. I still think he's going to win this match. Yep. Because I don't think we live in a world in which Brock Lesnar loses at WrestleMania. I think it's part of his contract. I honestly just now at this point believe it's in his contract that he's not allowed to lose at WrestleMania. I want him to lose. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I want him to go I want him to get the shit beat out of him. I want Seth Rollins to slay the Beast like he slayed the King and just I want to take the belt and just shove his face and but I don't think it's going to happen.
So, who are you calling?
Calling Brock Lesnar for 1.
Brock for 1.
I don't want it. I think it's how it's going to go.
That is a compelling argument. I can certainly understand that. I think there's a very good chance that happens. Especially just because we have so many.
Look, when this match first got announced, when this match first got announced, we were like, yes, this match, Seth Rollins is gonna slay the Beast at WrestleMania. And as this feud has gone on since Royal Rumble, since just after Royal Rumble, I care less and less.
Yep.
Well,
because it just looks like they're just gonna. They're just gonna give it to Brock again, and that's fine. Go ahead and do it. Don't pretend like I need to care about your belt anymore.
Yeah.
I want Seth to win. I don't trust Vince.
Yep.
No, I'm going to say Brock for 1 as well, but I'm going to say this is what I would rather have happen.
Okay.
I would rather have this be the match that the Shield gets involved.
Yes.
Oh,
and let's put that big bastard through a table.
Yeah.
And then let's pin him.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. However we have to get there. That's what I'd like.
I like that angle more.
I mean, I'd love it if Rollins just beat him straight up.
Right, but they're never going to allow
They're
that.
not going to let
think that's going to
They're
happen.
not going to let it happen.
But if it takes 3 guys to take down the Beast, and then of course Paul Heyman can come out the next week because it took 3 men to take down the Beast. Yeah.
And
how sad a statement is that you're going, and then Paul Heyman comes.
So
Paul Heyman, one of the greatest talkers of the last 20 years.
Good.
My fantasy booking for this match is Seth Rollins wins. So I'm gonna say my pick: Seth Rollins wins.
Okay.
For 2.
Okay.
But I think that there is going to be some interference, whether from the Shield or from Daniel Cormier.
I could see that as well.
That either distracts Brock and makes him lose the belt, or the Cormier interference goes the opposite way, so he can beat him for both belts at UFC.
Yeah.
But my pick is still Seth Rollins for 2.
I mean, hey, but this is what my
I can
heart
appreciate
wants.
that.
All right, here we go. The big one. The women are having a main event. Guys, the women are having the main event. I just want to take a moment to freak out about it. Anyway, but I need to tell you, this is Becky, this is Becky Lynch with her face all jacked up because Nia Jax hit her way too hard, but she looks like a badass and it totally worked for her.
She's in our background too for the Becky Lynch the Man comic book.
This is Charlotte Flair. For those of you who know Ric Flair, yes indeed, this is his daughter, and yes indeed, she does say woo. This is Ronda Rousey, who should need.
And no, they only sort of look alike.
Anyway,
That's Ronda Rousey. She's one of the most famous sportswomen in the entire world.
Yeah, you should just know who that is. But you probably didn't know these two. So there you go. Charlotte Flair. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, look at your touch screen.
I fixed it.
Oh, show us your password, Maggie.
I'm so pumped that the women are main eventing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am so pissed that it has to be a three-way fight. Because that's clear. It's clear that Vince doesn't think that two women can main event WrestleMania. It should just be Becky and Ronda. But they got to throw Golden Girl Charlotte in. Don't get me wrong, she's one of my faves. But I am undecided on this match.
Really?
Wow.
Well, is it the winner-take-all stipulation? Like, whoever wins this ends up with two belts that have to defend on both shows.
I for sure thought that Becky was going to win before SmackDown happened, where Charlotte took Asuka's belt. Now that it's both belts, it seems a little... I don't know. The both belts to me is the swerve for Charlotte.
So you're saying, is your call Charlotte?
No, it's not. My call isn't Charlotte. I mean, again, it's the same thing though. If Becky doesn't win, are they just going to riot in the thing? But Becky is so good as the underdog. She's so good as the fighting for it. Once she gets it, is that ruined?
No. Based on her character.
Okay.
While she's been great working her way up and struggling and having to prove herself throughout this whole time, I think the fact that she is such an Austin equivalent in terms of how she's positioned now, even to the point of they were trying so hard over the summer to make us hate her, and it just wouldn't happen. I don't see how this can end any other way than Becky winning.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I'm marking out on this. That's totally true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But with the chance that Ronda is going to go away, at least for a while,
Ronda's not winning.
Which I think is very, very likely, I think you have the chance to set up Becky pinning Ronda. Charlotte now has a reason to be like, you didn't beat me for the title, and you have a storyline coming out of that. Whereas Charlotte having the title, she's going to win plenty more titles. She's probably going to beat her down.
This is where John Cena comes in.
And it's just a big playback for when Becky was giving John Cena shit a few months back.
I love it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
John Cena comes in and ruins the match with his lightning fist. Yeah, let's do that.
The lightning fist. It's so scary.
But no, I'm sorry. I've got to go Becky. I'm going 5.
See, and I do think
Becky 5 for you.
I do think Becky's gonna win. And my other question though is since Asuka had the belt just taken away from her, is Charlotte going to be about to win and Asuka comes in and F's it up for her? Are they gonna try to make excuses that Charlotte doesn't win?
I really hope not.
I hope not either. But
guys, not only does Charlotte not win, Charlotte is going to be the one who taps.
I think that's likely, but would be unfortunate.
It would be unfortunate.
Charlotte most likely taps. If Charlotte doesn't tap, Ronda taps while being submitted by both Charlotte and Becky at the same time.
And then who's the winner?
Oh,
because then who wins? Because they both tapped her.
Right.
And it's both belt. Oh, that is dirty, and I don't like it, and I love it, and I hate it.
yeah.
But one thing is for sure, Becky Lynch is not tapping out on Sunday.
No, she's
Oh
not.
no chance of that.
she's
No
not.
chance of that.
No chance of that.
So there are two possibilities. Either Charlotte taps out,
Or Ronda taps.
or Ronda taps out to both of them, because she won't tap out otherwise either, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, she won't.
No. I don't think so either.
Ronda only taps out if both people are submitting her with both of their finishing moves at the same time.
There's no way that...
Like, there has to be a figure 8 and an armbar happening, but I think that's how it's going down.
Because, I mean, I know it's all whatever, but I will never believe that Ronda Rousey, the woman who actually does arm bars and actually breaks other women's arms, is taken out by Becky Lynch's armbar. I just won't, I can't believe that in any setting, no matter what. So if it's both of them, I would believe the double in a heartbeat. I can't believe Becky doing the one.
They've been very, very protective of the disarmor for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I just don't think Ronda would tap out to it. I think she'd know how to get out. I mean, I don't buy it. Both of them I do. I buy the figure 8 and the armbar together.
So you buy it because Ronda Rousey was a UFC fighter?
Yes.
And she is more believable as a combatant than Becky Lynch is.
It's the armbar specific.
Let me just change this to Ronda for you.
No, it's not Ronda. I'm not picking Ronda.
Who are you picking?
I am picking Becky for 5.
Becky for 5. Now we're talking.
Picking Becky for 5. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you that it's got to be a double.
And I think it's much more likely that...
that Charlotte takes the...
I think it's much more likely that Charlotte hits natural selection or something to set her up, and Becky ends up pinning Ronda rather than submitting her.
Yeah.
I think a submission is really unlikely.
Interesting.
Because that way, again, Charlotte gets to look strong, then she's disposed of, Becky finishes off Ronda.
Right, I set her up for you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's hard for me to call this one.
Fair on the hate, yeah.
The double belts really did throw me off. Yeah, Christian, what do you have?
I got Ronda. I don't think she's ready to have kids.
Do you think it's all part of the story?
I really, really want Becky Lynch to win.
I know.
And I'm going to be rooting for her the whole time.
She is his girlfriend.
That's true. I mean, don't tell her because she'll kill me. But, I really want her to win. And I think that Vince wants her to win. I just don't know if he's willing to pull the trigger on Ronda like that, with her being up in the air about what she's going to do next. I think it's all political,
Ooh.
but...
Interesting.
Ronda is a sore loser, guys. I don't know if you guys have noticed this about her UFC career. She is a sore loser, and if she is in a position of power in that company,
demeanor, or
like she doesn't have to show up. She is a huge star in WWE. She can just say, "No, I'm not losing that match," and they kind of will be like, "Okay, well, we want you to re-sign and not go to AEW." So sure.
Yeah. So how many are you putting on Ronda?
I'm not putting any on Ronda.
You have to put a minimum of 1.
Well, I think Ronda's going to win.
Okay.
And I want Becky to win.
Oh,
so I'm putting 1 on Charlotte.
Okay. There you go.
Fair. I can respect that.
I also don't think Charlotte's going to win. Charlotte got her big Asuka moment last year, right? Where she defeated the Unbeatable. So I feel like they're throwing her in because she's a big name for the women.
And the year before that when she had her big moment in the triple threat.
Right.
And don't forget the year before that when she had her big moment. Oh, let's not forget those 14 pay-per-views where she didn't lose a single match.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
There was that.
That's because she's the queen, guys. When you're the queen, you're the queen. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Nothing but respect.
No, yeah, God save the queen.
See her outfit? I mean, actually, James, we should probably just look at this. Gorgeous. I picked the peacock outfit because that's my favorite of all of her outfits. Look at it. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't because it's bad lighting on it. There's a whole headdress behind her. It's just beautiful. It's just, okay, sorry.
I want to know who did her boobs.
Yeah, they got much bigger when she came back. They are much bigger now.
And she lost them all.
And she did. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, guys, that's
superficial business.
Man, look at that. That is our official picks.
Yay!
For WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Squared Circle Society, members of Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, and we like wrestling. And even if you don't, we hope you share our excitement about this most what's the word?
Exquisite?
Exquisite time of the year. The road to WrestleMania is coming to an end, and we are going to have our big show on Sunday, and then you don't have to hear about it until Monday when Raw comes on because there's 6 hours of wrestling programming a week. Sorry, we do this year-round, and there's no off-season. If you are a friend or a husband or a loved one of any wrestling fans, please take good care of them this week.
Yeah.
Their hearts are about to be broken.
Yeah.
And then you have to hear about it all again next week. Because that's just how we roll.
It is. It is. I can't wait for it all to go down. And then I'll to sit here and be like, wah!
So join us. We're probably going to be tweeting during the whole process.
Oh, I'm going to be tweeting my ass off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would take some time.
8 hours?
Oh, look at that.
We've got plenty of time. All right, my name is Christian Doyle. This is Luke Amundson and my beautiful wife, Maggie Doyle. This has been our WrestleMania predictions for the Squared Circle Society, and we will see you next time.
Zoe Mania. That's cute.
Zoe.